experience in this movie, it pretty much goes both ways. There was a lot of trouble trying to get into my character at first, but after I pretty much got a hold of it, it was pretty easy. It was fun, pretty long, but I think it's definitely the outcome of it is definitely worth it. To my character, I guess it's pretty contradicting. My character is a drug dealer, and he's a gang leader, and he kills people. And he's pretty resentful towards everything. And me personally, I'm straight edge. I've been for a while, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I'm pretty sure it's not going to change anytime soon. It's just getting into this character was a bit of a challenge, just because I didn't know how to act while doing those things. But I grew up around a lot of what cricket is. A gang member, drug dealer. I grew up in a neighborhood where it's full of those things. To this day it still is. So I mean, I guess in a way it was kind of easy for me to get into my character if I really thought about my surroundings and kind of putting myself in other people's shoes, and I guess that's kind of what helped me out through the whole movie and acting. And there's a scene where one of my friends, he gets shot, and I'm dragging him and I throw him in the ditch, and that's where he dies. And I when we were filming that scene, I was thinking about the reality of the movie, because I had a friend when I was like 17 who was beaten and stabbed and thrown in a ditch like that. So the reality of the movie is pretty real, and that's what kind of made me I guess put a lot more heart into my acting and this movie and the purpose of it. I think what people can learn from In Circles is that wherever there's always bad and all this hate and depression and all these things that happen on the reservation, maybe not just District 6, but all the districts and even other reservations outside of Gila River. I think that people can learn that there's a lot more good to focus on than all the bad. I think with Isaac, being a really good artist and cricket not being anything, I think that it's a good example of how there's so much hidden talent in people's lives that they don't see until all the bad they focus on becomes their only reality. And I think that for our youth, for my generation and generations after me, I think that this movie is maybe not the intentions that other actors and everybody else in the movie had, but I know my intentions were to contribute to shine some kind of light on what really happens on the reservation, and kind of show people who don't know necessarily what happens on the reservation, give them the example. And just because you don't see it on the news or read about it in the newspapers, there's a small piece of land out there that is experiencing these deaths, these suicides, all these things that happen but aren't told, and everybody still just suffers silently out there. And I think that was my goal in this movie, and I think that a lot of people can take it into consideration and maybe not help them actually go to the reservation or see it. I don't think it's that extensive, but I think that being a movie full of people who are from Gila River as a whole, from the directors to the actors, I think there couldn't have been a better way to actually do this movie with the cast we have and the directors and everybody that I've worked with during this movie was, a lot of us never even acted before, but just knowing that these are things that we come from, it made it, way easier to pretty much not, to act just normal, and let it all come out. And I most importantly think that, for our community and, for my contribution to the community, it might not be as much, like I'm a student right now, and, I work, and I do what I can for, what I have and, my family, and, I think that as an example, myself, everybody in the movie, it's a perfect example to our youth, and to especially, we're the leading, our youth is pretty much the drug problems, the alcohol problems, the violence, all those things. I can't say to stop because that's not my place to say, and I can't say to go forward and keep doing it either because that's still not my place. But I think that a lot of people are so oppressed and don't know a way to release it, that coming from me, somebody who grew up on the reservation, District 5, who witnessed a lot of things that I never want to be exposed of, and never want my kids to be exposed of. I think that if I can come out climbing from the bottom, I don't see the glory in being another product of something that is a repeating cycle. I think it's going to end with me, and I think that that's where this movie, to me, I think that's what it comes down to, is it's ending with Isaac. Isaac's making the reservation a better place with his art, with everything, and me playing cricket. I guess I'm an example of everybody just it's a I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the words I'm looking for. I guess everybody glorifies the person cricket is, but doesn't necessarily glorify the struggle in it, the real struggle. And I think that just because I'm playing this person, this bad drug dealer, gangster, all that, I never want to promote that stuff. Like I said, I'm straight edge and I live a really pure lifestyle that, I don't want somebody going out and killing our kids with, with drugs and, alcohol. But like I said, I can't say for somebody who that's all they're used to, I can't tell them to stop, because it's selfish of me to control somebody else's life when everybody's gonna live their own lives.